Welcome to my Appalachian home. Each week we journey into the heart of Appalachia. Its stories, its music, its people, and its traditions. From the front porch to the winding back roads, I'll share the rich tapestry of life of this one-of-a-kind region that I call home. Settle in and discover the spirit of Appalachia, one story at a time. Hey, a few weeks ago, folks, I got to sit down with my old buddy, J. Buck Ford. J. Buck is actually the son of the late Tennessee Ernie Ford. And this is how that went. My guest today is J. Buck Ford. If he looks familiar, then you're hanging out in the wrong spots. No. J. Buck is a writer, producer, digital creator, voice artist, and the son of the late Tennessee Ernie Ford. And I just call him my friend. What's up, Buck?
Rick Dollar, you look fabulous as always, brother. I'm glad to be joining you here. It was wonderful to get your message about a week ago, and congratulations on the podcast success of.
Yeah, it's just it's going crazy now. Well, Net Radio Dogs was in the past.
Now, that's right.
Yeah, we went over to Radio Dog Productions, which now owns all of the podcasts and the radio show.
And you've got those two fabulous guitars framing you in the back of the Carter family. It's very cool.
Thank you, Hobby Lobby. Okay.
And I want everyone to know that Rick let me know before the things got underway here today that he was asking me to adjust the lighting around slightly. And he said, "You look awful dark from the neck down." And I wanted to say, well, I'm normally dark. And I asked Rick Dollar, podcast host, "Do you want me to change my shirt?" And his answer was, "Would you mind doing that just for a minute? Wardrobe would like to see a new one."
Wardrobe.
Now complete multitasking, wardrobe guy, podcast guy, writer, historian.
Yeah, and all that stuff. I don't know.
All that stuff. So I've changed my shirt. Does this look okay?
Buck, you're worth $1 million, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. How have you been? I met you 9 years ago at the Birthplace of Country Music Museum, if you'll remember. I interviewed you for those guys when they did this huge I don't know what you'd call it, man. It was just, there was all of this stuff, but the cool thing about it was about your father and Tennessee Ernie.
It was the centennial celebration.
In
Bristol, marking his 100th birthday.
Wow.
And that happened on February 13th, 9 years ago. And that was a big event. There were people from all over the world that came to Bristol who were fans. And what we thought was one of the many, many unique things about that. And that was I tell you, I don't know if you saw, I think you did, because I think you chimed in, but I dropped a clip from our interview that we did backstage at the museum there onto my social media feed and got some great response on it.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody spoke really highly of you, but everybody said I looked great, which of course is what I was.
Buck,
I was going.
You were adjusting my tie. I was
making sure, and now you're making me change my shirt, so things are even.
I got to do what I got to do, man.
Well, one of the really unique things about that centennial event in Bristol was that, and when I say people from all over the world came, literally people from all over the world came, and about 40% of those people were under the age of 40 and exhibiting a completely new generation of people that were fans of Dad's early stuff and his early country boogie stuff and all. So it was a wonderful event, and it was my first time meeting my good buddy Rick Dollar.
And there we go. Okay, we'll be back. That was a pretty good little intro there, wasn't it there, Buck? Now, what about Buckaroo content that you do that for people all the time, and that's a wonderful passion of yours, I think.
I'm a fortunate guy. I I tend to wear a lot of hats,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of paring that down. But um, I got very involved in creating and producing content for a number of different clients that blessed me with uh, the ability to work with and for them. I have a number of great legacy artists that I manage social media for, create all their content, and from everything from writing that content to shooting it to editing it. It's a one-stop shop. Buckaroo Content is how I'm getting through the world, man.
I got you, man. I really do. I understand about wearing a lot of hats, man. You have to stay busy.
You
If I
do,
wasn't
you
doing
do.
this, I don't know what I would be doing, but I don't want to go back into radio. So that was a tough gig, man.
That's radio's loss.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the way I think about it now. You've written a couple of books. The first one I really, I think I've delved into a little bit. You were the author of River of No Return, the Tennessee Ernie Ford, and the Woman He Loved.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a project that was a long time in the writing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I fully committed to doing the project, to writing the book, I knew immediately that one of the things I did not want to do was to simply write a biography
Mm-hmm.
of my dad, because the truth of his life was that nothing that he accomplished professionally in his life was accomplished until after he had met and married my mother. Their trajectory across their lives was one in which they were bound together from moment one until their lives ended.
Mm-hmm.
And mom had a tremendous influence on him. So my my aim was to not write a biography of one person, but to write a memoir about the lives of two people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this book eventually became.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a wonderful, basically a love story
It
of
is.
how
And
two
thank you for
people, yeah,
mentioning that.
yeah, how two people, complemented each other from the jump. And
Well, and that's not to say that, like all other people that are couples and live attempt to live lives together, that there wasn't dissension and that there wasn't friction and difficulties. Because mom and dad faced those as well.
mhm,
But it was a cathartic experience, to say the least, researching their lives and recalling their lives, and not just researching and recalling, but committing those recollections to the printed page.
and that's always weird to me because I try to think back with my mom and dad years ago, and maybe what I was pulling in and absorbing into the gray matter then, maybe wasn't always the truth. So I had to do exactly what you're doing, start asking people questions. Hey, look, what happened with this and this and this at this time in their life? And it can be sobering, to say the
Yeah,
least.
that's a really good way to put it. And as I was writing this and discovering those truths
Mm-hmm.
that you just so artfully mentioned, um, I began to realize that Murphy and I were both doing exactly the same thing with our own children.
Mm-hmm.
And because at certain, as you're, progressing in your young life, there's certain things that your mother and father just simply shield you from.
Mm-hmm.
And that so that your own growth isn't hampered by influences that they can control.
Yeah,
So
I totally agree. And I think everybody goes through these things to one degree or another. But I think a lot of times, like you're saying, we don't really even think about it that way. We just think about life happening. And when we get
That's
older,
a good way to put it.
yeah, we look at it and we go, like, gosh, man, how did we make it this far?
How am I still alive? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but yeah, that's a cool book. Now, if somebody wants to get that book, where can they go get that book?
You can order it on Amazon. Easiest way for people to do. You can also order it from any of your brick and mortar bookstores.
Hmm.
If you do Books a Million, you if it's not in stock, they'll order it for you.
Yeah,
It's still being printed, and it's hardcover. And
that's cool.
yeah, not so I'm very happy with Amazon, and just search out River of No Return,
Mhm.
Tennessee Ernie Ford and the Woman He Loved.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. You know, a lot of things happen in life. Uh, we have great things that happen to us that maybe stand out, but you know, the bad things stand out too. And, you know, I'll never forget when my parents got divorced. I mean, I was like 15 years old and I was thinking, you know, it's awfully quiet in the house now. You know, why is it so quiet?
Wow,
Yeah, it's because they weren't yelling at each other anymore. And
wow,
you know, and but it took me a lot of years to say to myself and realize, man, maybe that was supposed to happen. You know, maybe it was good that
interesting.
happened. Yeah. But you know, we all go through these things and a lot of times we just look at them differently at different
Exactly,
times, you know.
exactly.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Ghost in the House. I'm really interested in this. Do
You
you have
mean my
an
new
idea?
book that I'm not pitching? I'm not pitching this.
You're worse than Bill
You
Anderson. Bill
mean this
Anderson
new book,
like would
Rick?
hold the
You
book
mean
up
this
and
new book, Rick? I was wondering about this. This
yeah.
new book, I'm not pitching this. I'm not holding this up to the camera.
You're just seeing things.
I'm just pretending.
Yeah, let's talk about this. You got essays from a privileged life is the
Yes.
underscore there. Um, let's talk about that. What can you expect if we jump into that book?
Well, the fact of the matter is that these are all essays that nobody else would publish. Just kidding. Uh,
Oh man.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, over time, and going back to your discussion about Buckaroo content and creating content,
Hmm.
I guess 90% of the content that I create is the written word.
Yeah.
And I'm consistently writing. These 15 essays are essays that had originally been published in my blog and in another couple of avenues. And
Hmm.
I gathered them together and realized I had enough to create a second book.
Wow.
And so I went through each of these essays that all bespeak a certain time in my life,
Right.
that um, uh, a time that constructed a lesson
Hmm.
that changed the arc of my life or the arc of the lives of my family.
Right.
And I wanted to assemble this group of essays, in such a way that it kind of plotted that trajectory
Hmm.
and that arc of our lives. And that's what these essays essentially do. They open windows into stories that tell about that change in my life, that trajectory of that arc,
Yeah.
or my family's life. It's and there's a number of different moments that are catapulting me every time I open the book and re-edit, which I do consistently.
Okay.
Um, that sure moments that made a big difference and a big impact in my life.
Exactly. Now, one of your subjects that you were talking about in this book, you don't have to give us the details. I mean, I understand you're trying to get people to buy your book. Everybody does that. You know, I've got one in the works myself with all the interviews that I've ever done.
What a great idea!
Yeah, it's like
That's a great idea.
this thick now. No, no, I'm just kidding. Um, let's talk about the country music version of these essays. Give me something on that. You know, when it comes to music, there's nothing like playing an instrument that has soul in it. And that's exactly what you'll find at Randy Wood Guitars. For decades, Randy Wood has been building and restoring some of the finest guitars, mandolins, and banjos that you'll ever put your hands on. His instruments have been played by legends and trusted by pickers who know the difference. When you walk into Randy Wood Guitars down in Bloomingdale, Georgia, you're not just stepping into a shop. You're stepping into a tradition. You'll see handcrafted instruments, hear incredible stories from Randy himself, and maybe even catch some live music in their intimate pickin' parlor. It's a place where music is alive, where history and craftsmanship meet. So whether you're a collector, a performer, or just someone who loves the sound of wood and strings coming together, check out Randy Wood Guitars. Visit them in person or online at randywoodguitars.com, where great music begins.
Want to make your advertising dollar go farther? Just go to therickdollarshow.com and fill out the contact information. Someone from our advertising department will contact you as soon as they finish their lunch. The Rick Dollar Show, helping your business be more successful.
Hey folks, let me tell you about one of my favorite spots in Pigeon Forge, the Local Goat. This place is a true scratch-made kitchen where every single dish is crafted fresh daily. We're talking hand-patted gourmet burgers, perfectly cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and even made-from-scratch desserts that'll have you coming back for more. But it's not just the food, it's the vibe. The Local Goat is filled with artwork from local artists, so when you walk in, you're not only getting a great meal, you're getting a taste of the community. It's family-friendly. It's fun. It's the perfect place whether you're grabbing a casual bite, celebrating with friends, or just looking for a cold craft beer to go with that burger. So next time you're in Pigeon Forge, make sure you stop by the Local Goat, the place where locals eat and visitors love.
The Rick Dollar Show.
Hey folks, if you're looking for a place that's got that perfect mix of mountain charm, music, and outdoor adventure, let me tell you about Marion, Virginia. It's this beautiful little town tucked right in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and when you walk through their historic downtown, you'll feel like you've stepped into a storybook. Boutique shops, local dining, and that small-town hospitality that makes you want to stay a while. If you're a music lover, Marion is home to the legendary Lincoln Theater, where Song of the Mountains is filmed. That's a nationally televised concert series showcasing some of the best in bluegrass and Americana music, and you'll be right in the heart of it. And for outdoor fans, you're just a minute from Hungry Mother State Park. We're talking hiking, biking, fishing, and even a sandy beach where you can just relax. Plus, the Appalachian Trail and Mount Rogers National Recreation Area are right there too. So whether it's live music, mountain air, or just slowing down a bit, Marion, Virginia's got it all. Check it out at visitmarionva.com and start planning your getaway.
And now, back to more fun.
Well, would you like me to read you a little bit?
Sure. Hey, man, with a voice like you got, you could read all day, you know?
This is from an essay that is the title essay in the book. It's called Ghost in This House.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a student of music, an American singer, raised on the Methodist hymnal, trained in opera, a devotee of Western swing and hillbilly boogie, and a cat who knew the difference between the two. He had an unerring, instinctive talent for recognizing genres, a little-known aspect of his musical education that grew into somewhat of a personal penchant as he grew older, and one I grew to respect enormously, particularly as it related to country music. Ernie Ford was not a country singer. He was a singer, period. But he was a singer who understood musically, culturally, instrumentally, and lyrically what made a country song country. From 58, 59 through 70, maybe, it was one of the principal reasons he gravitated closer to Ken Nelson and what was coming out of Bakersfield, and kept himself distanced professionally from the Music Row establishment for so many years. His close friendships with its architects notwithstanding, he held a private but deep disdain for the Nashville sound and saw it as a wholesale sellout to remake country music in pop's image, make it palatable, make it relatable, upbeat, make it relevant. When the label pushed hard in the early 60s to make him relevant, to make him palatable, to mold him into the whole country politan thing, he pushed back, and in April of 64 recorded Country Hits Feelin' Blue, a 12-song set of lonesome, broken-hearted standards from Don Gibson, Jenny Lou Carson, Ernest Tubb, Hank Williams, Frankie Brown, and Carl Perkins, cut over 10 hours with two cats, Billy Strange on acoustic guitar and John Mosier on upright bass. No overdubs, no harmonies, maybe 2 takes every song. It was, hands down, the best album of his career, by bringing each song back to its most basic elements, unfiltered, uncluttered by unnecessary BS, and unapologetically blue. Strange, Mosier, and Dad unwittingly created a work that is both a musical masterpiece of simplicity and a profoundly moving exploration of sadness, a human condition that, along with much more, is profoundly missing from what's being pawned off as country music today.
Wow. Man, that hit it right on the head, man. If you didn't know who Tennessee Ernie Ford was, you do now. That's beautiful, man. I tell you.
I appreciate that. that.
Gosh. I mean, it's just amazing the talents that J. Buck Ford has also. You feel like you got all of that from your dad, or you got 50-50 from dad and mom, or what are you thinking?
Well, a great deal of my portraiture of my father is based, of course, on the fact that he was my father.
Exactly.
Excuse me. And the fact that as I became more connected to his career later in his life, I began to see those truths, like you were talking about earlier, that didn't necessarily make it to my ears when I was younger, but that when I began to peel back the layers and uncover the artist he was, not the artist he was marketed to be. It changed my entire perspective of the man that he was.
Exactly.
And his knowledge of music was unparalleled, number one. His ability to take that knowledge of music and convey it melodically, instrumentally, vocally, was unparalleled. And what I found out about this record was that it was his own personal record, his own personal way of convincing capital of the artist he was by taking standard country music and creating a masterpiece of simplicity. Yeah. And it still stands today. I think it's one of his greatest records.
It really does. And I mean, it works that way with a lot of people, and not just people in the industry. I mean,
that's exactly
I think
right.
A lot of those guys have to now look back and say, boy, glad we signed that dude, because he had so much inside, but he had his own way of conveying to everybody how he really felt. And
one of
didn't happen very often.
It doesn't. We are experiencing an epiphany of awareness in the response that we're getting on his social media right now.
Oh, I can imagine.
We are replaying clips of all of the Ford shows.
Wow.
And the public reaction has been astonishing.
Yeah.
To the degree of his musicianship, his ability to play the piano, his ability to play the violin, his ability to play the trombone, his ability to play the trumpet, his ability to play virtually every musical instrument stuns people that this guy, this average guy, was as talented as he was.
Cool
Trained
thing.
in opera.
The
you
one
know?
thing I remember about Tennessee Ernie Ford is seeing him on television when I was a child, but also that the old Tennessee Ernie Ford home place was behind my grandmother's house. We lived.
So you are the guy that moved in there.
I was the guy beating on the window all the time.
You're the guy.
No, my grandfather, and of course, I stayed with my grandparents during the day when my parents would work, and we lived on Broad Street, and his house was
Sure.
like right down the road, maybe 1/8 of a mile, and right on the other street. And every time my dad drove by there, he said, "That's where Tennessee Ernie Ford grew up."
That's funny because when we would drive by there, we used to point the other way and say, "That's where Rick Dollar used to grow up." No one knew who we were talking about, but we still.
Yeah, that's definitely where I grew up, man. I mean, you sitting on the porch with your grandfather all day. There's some growing up happening, believe me. I'll tell you. But no, that was the beautiful thing about Ernie Ford's whole relationship with the city of Bristol. He was like the dude. He was the man that made Bristol what it was at that time. And I'm so happy that things happened for him personally, but I'm also happy that it happened to work out for Bristol and Tennessee Ernie Ford also all at the same time, because a lot of that benefit came into play when you and I met each other. So if this synergy hadn't happened, I would have never met J. Buck Ford.
And I would have never met Rick Dollar and never been doing his podcast that I'm doing right now. Into the latest Rick Dollar podcast.
That's the voice.
Doing this thing.
Yeah, that's the voice guy coming out in you, man. Let me tell you. What now? Tell me something. There was a video game that you, probably several that you voiced. What was that part? That famous part that you, because I know my grandson's going to ask me this question.
Gosh, well, I'll tell you, it's been about 1.5 years since I've done any game work because after NSAG, boycotted the gaming industry for using AI voices. So it's been some time ago, but Halo was one of them.
Halo, that was it.
And but I just finished doing I'd say just about a year ago, the guide, the ancient wizard guide for a new game. I can't remember the name of it, but the whole gaming industry has changed. I'm lucky, I'm lucky. I don't do as much voice these days as I used to do.
Yeah.
But because I'm so involved in creating content.
You're the dude I need to hire.
Creating content, because if you need that content, we're changing the world.
Exactly. Man, you'd be beautiful. Yeah, there was a guy that used to be in radio that was just, every time this dude would come on the radio, I'd be different places in the business. Friends of mine was like, "Oh, that guy's got the voice of God. Can you believe?"
Well, Ken Nordine did this, and he would say, "Tomorrow on ABC, be prepared to pull your socks up because it's going to be an explosive invasion." Tonight on NBC, Rick Dollar finds his own life changed as the result of a
Oh man, you're crazy. So
I
know, but that's good. We all have to be a little bit nuts.
How do I look, by the way, with this gray shirt?
And it's actually taupe. Exactly, is what you told me.
God bless you, son.
It's taupe. Okay. Well, I mean, what can you do? So what's the future looking like for J. Buck Ford? You just going to keep doing what you're doing, man? Or, I mean, you're really putting out your insides out there for everybody to look at. So I think it's a great thing,
I'm blessed to be working.
Yeah.
Period. And beyond that, I get up in the morning. I'm up by 5:30.
Wow.
finish my workout by 6:15.
5:32.
I start. Hey, see this? See the soldiers? Soldiers are falling.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm jumping on providing socials for my clients who I
Yeah.
love dearly, and I'm so blessed to be providing services to them.
Yeah.
So I get up every day as if it's the thing that I'm driven to do, and it is indeed. And so my future beyond this podcast, I really can't tell you because anything could happen. Hey, I just finished the Rick Dollar podcast.
Now you can go on and do what you got to do.
I can go on.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Buck, it's just amazing to me how a guy like you is having.
You mean how an old guy like me is still
Dude,
working?
I
Is that what you're
say the
inching
word?
to?
I
You're
didn't say the
inching
word
to
old.
that, Rick. It's amazing to me how a guy as old as
Oh,
you
my
can
God.
still be working.
You're staying so busy, man. But it's your choice. That's the thing, you know? I mean, it's your choice.
Well, I'll tell you, I am blessed
Yeah, you are.
to do what I do.
Mhm.
And I am blessed to be able to do the work that I do with the people that I work with.
Oh, yeah.
And that exchange, that give and take propels me.
Yeah.
My children propel me. You know, none of my children are in rehab. None of them are in jail.
That's good.
None of them have a drinking or a drug problem, and all of them are gainfully employed. Everything is gravy.
Yeah.
I can work now, and I'm not beset with the worries that I was when they were growing up.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm blessed, man, and I'm as fortunate as I can be to be doing what I do
Mhm.
and staying as busy as I am.
Yeah. I couldn't have said it any better. I actually attempted it, but
Well, you could have.
didn't work out, though. Well, Buck Ford, have a great day, sir. I was so honored, you know, that you wanted to come back and talk to me. So,
Hey, Rick, I am thrilled for your success. You're an honest to goodness good guy, and holler at me anytime, my friend. It's a pleasure being with you.
thanks, Buck. Have a great day, and
Thank you, Rick.
take care of yourself, buddy.
Later, brother.
All right. See you soon. Thanks for riding shotgun with us this week on My Appalachian Home. Remember, life is what you make of it. We'll see you soon.